censorship via advertising, because all advertising and all advertising based media is essentially censored. If your media must be supported by advertising, if you think that's the only way your stuff is valuable, like nobody will directly compensate you for it, then you're going to go down the road of censorship. I don't know. There's another story. I don't know if you guys have followed this, but from conservative, the conservative media side, this Stephen Crowder, the Louder with Crowder story, where it links back to the same things I was saying about advertising earlier, because it's actually a story about censorship via advertising, because all advertising and all advertising based media is essentially censored, not for political reasons, but just because that's how advertisers have come to regard what they appear alongside. So if your media must be supported by advertising, if you think that's the only way your stuff is valuable, like nobody will directly compensate you for it, then you're going to go down the road of censorship. And Crowder, the story is not all that important, but just the money though is huge on the other side. The amount of money that has gone in, that goes into media based on bulk mass advertising, we're not even close to that. But it only goes to the tippy tiny top of the profession, of any profession. 99.9% of musicians make no money from Spotify. 99% of YouTubers make no money from YouTube. A tiny slither at the top can make money. But what we can do when we cut out the middlemen on our real Web3 ideas, where we do have these small communities that value content and value their creators and are built around the content creators, but where not only do the creators make value, but they can pass the value back out to the community that supports them. That's the only way to democratize this, to move it out from this top, this tippy top getting something.
To me, yeah, I mean, this is a really important point here. And this is where we're going, right? Like, for example, let's take the Speak Network and the Breakaway community fork that we're building, so that anyone can spin up their own platform with very little, if no, dev knowledge at all. And once they have a platform, they can start inviting their communities to that platform, and they can post through it. It's just a fork of the XNC front end. It looks great, works great, everything's good. Our plan is to then allow people to post to those platforms and earn points, right? So over time, they earn points. And after, say, 3, 6, 9 months of point accumulation to the different people using those platforms, you'll start to see the valuable members in those communities. And then what we want to do is we want to encourage the content creators or the community managers or whoever they may be to drop tokens to those communities, but don't drop any to themselves, right? Those tokens will be proof of brain tokens, and they'll drop them based on the amount of points accumulated by the different accounts who've posted to that platform over a period of time. And then from there, those tokens become proof of brain tokens, so that the community members that receive those tokens on the initial drop can then go and vote for the content that's being posted to that platform and distribute tokens from the inflation. Of course, what that will do is the content creator or the community managers that originally set that community up or brought it into being, they will also post content. And over time, they'll be able to earn proof of brain tokens and accumulate and earn a supply of tokens, right? So the beauty of this is that you're not dropping tokens to yourself, you are earning your tokens fair and square like everyone else has to. And of course, being the main content creator from that community, you'll start off with 0, so you avoid any accusation that you're a security, an unregistered security. But then over time, as you post, you will earn a significant stake of those tokens. Now, if Crowder would have been doing that over the last 5 years, right? You think he'd be just worth 50 million? The market cap of his token alone would be in the hundreds of millions of dollars, I'm pretty sure, and it would be decentralized. It would be its own kind of entity that exists separately to the rest of society in many ways. It would be its own kind of sovereign entity, and it would be a community within that. And no one would be able to regulate it or shut it down apart from the members of the community themselves that are providing the most value to that community, as perceived by the community itself. This is
But
where it should be going, and the potential power behind this is tremendous. It's huge, and I just wish that the likes of Crowder could see a $50 million deal from whoever he's getting that from is worth very little compared to what he could be getting if he was to build a truly decentralized economy that could have its own market cap and then grow with time as the community grows.
if you can get all of the people into a Web3 front end, which we're not there yet, and um, if you can find a creator whose ego is not so big that they'll turn into a Logan with their crypto zoo catastrophe, and devs that just wind up, and a struggle between devs and the creators to who can rug pull the
Yes,
community and pump and dump the thing. So
but
we've got a
Raj,
bad history, but we can build a better system than that.
yeah,
But
well,
I actually don't think that we're heading towards the point where the crowders this won't be adopted through the big guys. It will be much smaller things. It will be many, many, many much smaller projects that
yeah, I
that,
agree.
that adopt this
I
and
mean,
grow from it.
but I'm giving us a general model that could be used by anyone. It wouldn't matter how big they were. And to talk
Agreed.
about the crypto zoo stuff, I mean, straight away, the first mistake that these guys always will make, if they don't take advice from people, I mean, I don't like to blow my own trumpet, but people like us who know this stuff, what did he do? Gave himself tokens
Of
straight
course.
away. Oh, we'll give ourselves 10% and we'll become millionaires overnight. It's like, bro, you already failed. You already failed after the first 30 seconds of even thinking about your own project, right? It's like what we're trying to do is say to the likes of Logan Paul, give yourself 0 tokens and earn your tokens so that you actually value them over time. And your community distributes. You let your community take charge over the distribution of your tokens, and hopefully, if you're a good creator, your community will distribute tokens to you based on the votes on the content that you create, right? That's the way. I just so that model's applicable here. It's applicable to solve those problems, and I just think it will come. It will come. We will build the tech. We will build the capabilities for people. We will provide these techniques as basic human rights to all people that use this technology, and we'll see how it goes from there.
Yeah, most of them rely on ads, donations. Imagine having a token where you're protected. It could get liquid. It could become valuable, and you'll have a defense in court saying, "Hey, I'm not a security. I earned this just like everyone else, fair and square. I didn't put anything in my pocket." Then what if the community decides to open up a DAO? Now because this is basically just tokenizing an idea, right? Because Steven Crowder, he's a person, but people like him because of his ideals. So it's like people are tokenized around a narrative. So now you can do things like, oh, maybe we want to fund an event, maybe we want to fund this project. That's so powerful. You can't really do that anywhere else. If you think of where that can go, if there's any kind of viralness to this, if there's any kind of liquidity and it takes off, that could be a very positive force for that ideal, good or bad, obviously. But if it's a good ideal in this case, it could be used to achieve incredible things. We've seen the baby works of this on Hive in the countries that we've touched so far, in the places that we've been able to penetrate, that other technologies simply haven't been able to. So I think if he was looking at this in that direction, yeah, the technology is young, but it doesn't take much. And the more people that join, the more awareness that comes, the better tech gets because more developers know about it, more people, bigger network effect. This thing tends to compound quickly. So yeah, I wonder what first content creator big enough to sort of become their own, I don't want to say digital nation, but be able to create some kind of economy around their ideals in a way where they're protected and can really make a much more powerful difference than just getting a check from some centralized entity or relying on ads or getting donation. How boring is that? It's absolutely boring. It's a snore fest. Sure, you make money, but it's like, what are you doing? Wouldn't you much rather have what we just explained, where you can actually make real difference and be protected so you can actually make real difference so you don't have to walk on eggshells your whole life? Seems like a no-brainer to me.